What's your advice in closing to the scared and semi-broke first-time home buyer who wants to buy a house?
First of all, I would say don't try not to be scared. Number one, I would say find an agent you can trust. I think that's so important. I talked to so many people who hated their agents.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why did you stick with them? Find someone you like. Find someone that makes it enjoyable. It should not be scary.
Yeah.
You know, I understand
Or
it's a
even
lot
if
of
it
money.
is, have the person that can help push you through that fear.
And educate you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many people, you know, like I have this buyer's booklet I take people through, right? I sit down with them. I spend like 45 minutes to an hour educating them. Not that they're going to remember any of it,
Yeah.
but it gives them a sense of, I care for you,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
You
that's
know?
just your approach to life, I've noticed. Like going back to, I know we have to close it out, but everything you were talking about with California Association of Realtors, PWR, WCR, you have a really cool legacy in your resume as a realtor, and I really admired it. Education first.
Education first.
When
I
we
agree.
and And we're back. Matt Welch,
Hi.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, I need to know. Didn't Sarah change the brokerage name?
We did. We had to.
That's my segue of saying I don't remember what it was. Can you tell me?
Yeah, it was IRC,
That's right.
and now it's Ignite.
We're probably not going to go into the story behind that because of the legal aspect.
No, but you know what? Like, do you know how many names are taken? It's hard to find.
I know. So the new name is what again?
Ignite Real Estate.
I kind of like Ignite better, by the way.
I do, right?
Over IRG. What does IRG mean?
Well, it kind of included her name in the real estate group, but now
Okay.
it's Ignite Real Estate Group, sparking success in real estate.
Okay, cool. Congrats on the new brand and name.
Yes. Yeah.
Do we get to have Sarah in here at one point? I think she'd do really great.
She would do. She was just on a panel yesterday.
Show her this.
Yeah,
And
well-
where's my invite with like PWR and like,
Okay,
I want to be like a sponsor. Hello.
Well, you're sponsoring with me.
Yeah.
You can't sponsor with. No, you can't.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Yes, I'll sponsor with you too.
We can definitely we could use you for the spring or fall form or both. Yeah.
That's up to you. And you have like all these affiliates clamoring for that stuff. I'm not a clamorer, you know. I'm just not a clamorer.
You know what we do? We are going to need is we're going to need sponsor too for. We have a charity foundation, right? That raises money for charities. And this year we're going to do something different where we're going to.
When you say we're talking about PWR.
PWR.
Yeah.
It's a charity foundation which is within PWR.
And tell people what PWR is.
Pacific West Association of Realtors.
Right, and that covers what areas?
It's covering Orange County and up through like Long Beach and parts of like Whittier, kind of Bellflower, that way.
Yeah. Whittier's the land of no freeways, by the way.
Really? Well, doesn't the 605 go up that way? 605 goes up. Well, talking about no freeways, it's La Habra.
Yeah, that's true
It
too.
does cover La Habra too, and
Yes.
that has no freeway.
Yes, Rancho Los.
You have to go like up Beach Boulevard, right? You have to go up Beach, or you have to go Lambert, right? Or
Yes.
Imperial, right there. Yeah.
We're doing great, right, Corey?
I was born in La Habra.
I was getting you ready to tell you to get on track.
I heard it coming. All right, so PWR.
Yeah.
The reason I'm bringing that up is you have been named president-elect,
Correct.
Correct?
This year. Correct.
which is awesome because you already have a history of being a president of an organization in the Long Beach marketplace,
Right.
WCR.
Right.
And the reason, I admire you so much, we were talking off camera about this, is you're an advocate for the affiliates and sponsors that actually support the cause.
Absolutely. I think it has to go both ways.
Yeah. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on camera if realtors are listening, but it just feels like sometimes realtors are like, I want your money, but I don't want to support you.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry. And that's the way it feels. Affiliates feel that way, and I'll speak for them. I don't mind saying it. But what was different about you is you literally were a real advocate for us. And I really noticed and appreciated that. And when I heard you were going to be president for PWR next year,
Right. 27.
2027, I got really excited. So that's why I'm asking to be a sponsor, because I know you'll actually make sure my money gets put to good use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will not waste your money.
Yes. So thank you. And what kind of outreach and what kind of things are you going to be focusing on? What's going on this year with PWR?
Oh gosh. So, we have, I said the charity foundation, right? So we're going to be having one event for sure. I think a second event coming up. And what we're doing is we're going to be putting this money into like let's say a charity pot. And we're going to have people who need it, nonprofits, are going to be able to apply to use this. And we're hoping that some of it will be within the real estate market, right? Because we used to focus on one charity.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, the Long Beach Rescue Mission or X, Y, and Z, or Orange County Rescue Mission. So, which was fine, but it kind of precluded everybody else. So we're trying to include. And so hopefully
I see.
we're going to start this new process. We're going to have an application process, right? And so I'm the board liaison onto this committee that's run by a staff member.
Got it.
And then it has, several people on this committee trying to put all this stuff together. So we have that. And then we have our spring forum coming up.
Is there a target number you're trying to reach for money raised or whatever?
More than last year. Let's just say that. Oh, right.
Go there.
Anything would be great. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the more the better, I think.
Yeah.
I'd love to get more and more money. I know they would. We have a great person who's leading that committee. He's doing a great job. And then the committee members, I think, are all fired up to do well. And I think that my role is not even to give direction, but maybe a little direction based on what the board is, because they.
Yeah, but you have like a history and like, what was your corporate life like before you joined the real estate market?
I was VP of Sales and Marketing.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's why you know what you're doing. So,
Yeah.
but like in the world of corporate sales training, that matters, I think, because there's more structure and you actually know what you're doing.
Yeah. I did that for 18 years, 17 years. So it was a long time.
What industry?
There was a company, can I mention the company? Pitney Bowes.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a company called Pitney Bowes. They do the mailing equipment, or they were known for the mailing equipment that you run your letters through and it stamps and seals them. I don't know if you've ever seen them, but that's what it did. Yeah, and then the shipping equipment, things like that. So I went from that division, I went to the international division, and then I was vice president of sales and marketing there.
What ended up having you segue out of corporate?
Purchased. We got purchased. Our division got purchased.
So
by
where they're like, here's your severance package, goodbye.
They took everyone they left the president and took everyone from the president to like the salespeople and laid everybody off.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I was one of them, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
So you didn't have an intention ahead of time to get into real estate.
I know. I love sales, right? I love sales. I love selling.
Yeah.
And the thing was that I just decided I wanted to do something, but I didn't know. I was older, right? Kind of. When you're thinking about the business world, certain ages
You look better than me.
So I was like, who's going to hire me? So then, I started thinking about, I love real estate. I owned my own house. And so I was like, I should really look into doing this. And
Did you know Sarah at the time?
no,
How did you connect with Sarah?
I met her at a previous brokerage. So
Sarah's the broker owner, just for clarity.
well, her dad's a broker owner.
Mhm.
And so he is the broker on record. And then I'm basically Sarah's the owner.
Right.
And then it's just, there's four of us. So there's only four of us there, and then some referral agents. But on a previous brokerage is where I met her, because she was on a panel. She was partnered up with a woman named Heather, and they were amazing, and they did a lot of business. And my business partner at the time and I decided we want to learn from them. So we reached out and we said, hey, let's go to lunch.
Yeah.
It all became.
But Sarah, I've noticed she's not grown or scaled it, but I think that's because that's the way she likes it. So that means like she had to find the right. She's like, you must have done something to wow her.
But you know what I'm talking about? Look at me. Of course I wowed her.
Yeah.
No, I thought, no.
You wowed me.
No, I don't know if I wowed her, but I think it's nice when someone takes interest in you. You wanted to learn.
She's really good at what she does.
She's great at what she
Right.
does.
And she's made the choice probably not to grow and scale this thing for a reason. I can't remember what she told me, but she told me that. I don't want to speak for her. But yet, you're working for her. You know what I mean? What is her philosophy on that? Do you know? In terms of...
I don't think she'd mind growing her business. She does a lot of business, and
That's what I
there's
mean.
so much
She doesn't
she
cut
can do.
her own. Yeah.
I don't think she wants
You
to.
don't want the responsibility.
No, and I don't think she wants a brokerage necessarily to grow, and I don't think she wants to grow a big team. I think she's good with where she's at, and it already takes up a lot of her time. She has,
And yet she said yes to you.
yeah, well, when we were all at our previous brokerage, she decided she wanted to move on somewhere else, and she asked us to come with her, basically, is how that works.
So you guys are doing really well?
We talk all the time. We hang out.
I know.
She's a friend of mine.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, I consider myself lucky that Heather and her allowed us to meet with them and sit down and kind of tell us what they did, which just, kind of motivated us to do it, right? And try. And
Who you surround yourself with matters.
surround yourself with good people.
Isn't she the current PWR president?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's involved. You're heavily involved. What's going on with CAR? Like, you guys are involved with CAR?
Both of us are
California Association of Realtors?
Yeah, both of us are directors. We were just at our meetings last week.
Can I understand something? I'm trying to find out what's the... It's hard for me to want to get behind spending all the time in the committees and California Association of Realtors, PWR, OCR, and I admire folks who are willing to pour their time and energy into it. Now,
Right.
I've got kids, club basketball, 2 different schools. Our lives are hectic. I can't like comprehend the idea that I would have no extra time for anything. So that's something you seem to enjoy. Like, where's the passion and drive come from?
I think for me, I see real estate as a bigger thing, right? People sometimes see real estate as just selling a home.
So you're talking about the community aspect, or
Not the community aspect, but the advocacy.
Okay.
What real estate in general, right? If you look at the whole real estate industry, and these organizations are supporting that industry, do you follow kind of thing? Like, yeah, I mean, am I happy to be involved if I meet great people? Do you learn a lot? Because we're at the forefront. So anything that's going on,
you're aware of?
we hear of first. So the knowledge of that's really important. But I've never been the type of person who just sells a house, buys your head down and work. Yeah, I need to get involved. I need to know what's going on in the industry. I need to know what kind of laws are coming into place, or rules, or guidelines, or why, because they're not always all good, and we need to help direct people into the ways.
Yeah, but there's a heart of service in you that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I know. Some people don't appreciate that, but others do.
What?
Yeah, some people think it's a waste of time. I think I don't.
I mean, it's a waste of time, but I don't have the time.
Right, but some people don't even think there's any direct relation between doing that and making money. Do you follow?
Are you feeling like there is a direct correlation? Or are you just doing it because of the other things you talked about?
No, I don't think there's a direct correlation, but I think the things you learn help you with your business.
Yeah, so in a way, you're not just giving back, you're investing in yourself too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, can you get a referral through it? Absolutely. That kind of stuff happens, right?
Yeah.
But there's no direct correlation. Like, okay, if I'm here, my business is going to do better. But I always feel like the more involved you are, the stronger your business becomes.
Yeah, education, but also you're going to become more well-known in the local marketplace by your peers.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, having good relationship and reputation helps.
Yeah. I mean, I know people all over the state.
Makes a difference when you're trying to negotiate on behalf of your buyer or seller.
Well, especially with PWR, right? So you're here. I've met people, obviously I know a lot of people at PWR. And then now at OCAR, Orange County Association of Realtors, I met a lot of people there. So you
yell
meet
or rubbing elbows together.
Yeah, and you meet a lot of people that way. And I think it's important to do that because it does help your business, because you never know who you're going to run across.
Yes, yes. You're clearly an introvert, clearly.
I'm definitely. You know me so well.
Just kidding. Quite the opposite. What are we working on at CAR? Like the average guy like me who's too busy, at least that's my excuse. I'm going to stick with that one. What is CAR working on? What should we be paying attention to? Is there anything that's going to be relevant for, real estate and homeowners to hear
I
about?
think that, so CAR works on a lot of different things. So there's all these committees within it, right? So like I'm on the local government policy committee. So I'm on this committee, and there's several people on this committee, and we work with things that are going through local government. And people don't realize all the different rules and things that are coming up, or laws that are coming through.
That's what I'm referring to.
Yeah. Rent control.
Like, what do we need to know?
Rent control. You have to watch out for rent control, because, people think rent control is great. However, rent control has stifled the market. And as far as people aren't as mobile because they're afraid to move, because rents go up.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you tell someone you can only raise your rent X amount, what happens is when you can, you will.
Yeah.
And before, people didn't raise their rents.
Right.
If you're not being told you can't, you won't. You'll just leave them there.
Yeah.
So we've seen, there's been studies out that have shown it's been really bad for the communities that have, put this together, have done it. And I think people are starting to see that throughout the state. So that's one. Protecting property rights of homeowners, right? It's your property, protecting your rights with that. I think it's important. Affordability. Who can afford a home nowadays, and why?
So what's the advocacy if it's not like the devil's advocate thing on rent control?
Yeah.
Because I am with you. Free market, if you're stifling that, you're going to have unintended consequences.
Right.
And this is a huge conversation right now, especially after COVID, inflation, and all this stuff, is in particular the state of California.
Right.
There's some charged energy around the politics here. And there's very wildly different ideas around how to deal with that, rent control being one of them. If it's not rent control, which I don't think it is personally, what is it? Like, is there an idea that Carr is pointing to that will allow for more affordable housing, or
Well,
how do we deal with that?
I think part of it is you look at what it costs to build
Yeah.
thing in the city.
We're talking about like permits and all the red
Permit,
tape. Yeah.
the environmental guidelines
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to follow. All this stuff adds up, right? There was a fair housing policy conference that we went to in Long Beach last year, and it was very interesting because that's exactly what they said. You cannot almost afford
Yeah.
to build affordable
If you're not
housing
making it
because
affordable.
by the time you're done, a house already starts at $500,000,
Okay,
and they haven't made any money.
So this is the part where I think people get really confused. Builders are not charities.
Right. Right.
And the problem is, if you're going to ask the government to build affordable housing, what you're going to get is the equivalent to what the DMV or the USPS is, right? And do you want that? Probably not. So allowing, and I understand the intent behind environment regulations. I think a lot of them actually have valid reasons for existing.
Right.
But the question is, at what point is there a law of diminishing returns, and is it more harm than good?
Right.
And have we gotten carried away? And where's the balance
Right.
that allows builders to actually make money in a free market
Right.
environment, and also the net result is affordable housing? Like,
Right.
I know that one side has a story and the other side has a story, but usually the truth is somewhere in between.
Right.
Is there any hope of that ever resolving itself, or is this perpetual, never-ending?
You know what?
game?
I think there have to be big changes.
Yeah.
And that doesn't come from us little people. It comes from the people
But it impacts people with less money or no money, right? Because now, like, they're stuck.
and then you're stuck, and then you have landlords, let's say, going back to the rent control thing,
Yeah.
that can't raise their rents.
Right.
However, things around them go up all the time.
Yeah.
Gardeners go up, electricians go up.
Yeah, and there's no awareness around that impact.
So yeah, these things go up, but they can't raise their rents, let's say. And I'm not saying people should raise them exorbitantly. And, let's be
Again,
realistic.
somewhere in between,
Yeah.
right?
But if you can't, and yet these people are charging you more, and you're not allowed to charge more, then you're going to get these buildings that are
price
being
control here or not price control here, right? And now the government's choosing who gets to succeed and who doesn't, and that is not, the free market.
Yeah. I mean, there's arguments on both sides.
Yeah, I don't claim to have the answer to this.
Oh, I don't have any answers.
Like,
That's why
I'm always left confused from these conversations, because on one hand, capitalism unchecked is not good. On the other hand, price controls and communism or whatever is not good. Like where do we find the middle ground?
Right.
But I'm starting to feel like the human race is incapable.
I don't think.
Just constantly be in division no matter what, because egos must win.
Yeah.
And it's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, all right. Have you been to the Capitol recently?
I was there last April. I'm going again in April again. So we have Ledge Day every year, right? So
Ledge Day,
a lot of realtors all go up, and we are there.
like hound these legislators.
Let me pound them. We schedule meetings with our legislators.
They'll take those meetings.
Yeah, they do. And then we sit. Hopefully it's with them. Sometimes it's with their staff or both.
Do you get lip service, or do you actually get people willing to listen and wanting to help?
Willing to listen, because you have to realize they have so much on their plate. I'm not sure they read everything that's put in front of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
So if we're up there and we're saying, here, let us explain what this bill actually does.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've only been there once last year, and I'm going again this year, and I was surprised by how many of them said, oh, I didn't know that.
So you
Wow,
are
thanks
helping
for letting me
educate.
know.
Yeah.
That's now maybe changed my point of view. Because
You're trying to slowly move the needle one legislator at a time.
yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit, right?
I get it.
Because we want, property is it's so good. People need to own property, right? I mean, look how much people's net worth raises with property. And so you need to help people get into property.
Yeah. Barrier to entry needs to come down.
It does, so people can get into it. And because of that,
So that is the counterintuitive part, because we're not allowing builders to build in a way that allows them to have incentive to build. What are the incentives?
Right.
And thereby, we don't have affordability. Right. And now we're keeping the lower income class in the lower income class. And that's not, we're wanting to give them an opportunity.
right.
But
And you hear how the state's like short hundreds of thousands of homes, right? Where we need to be,
yeah.
we're short. And so
It's the same reason big corporations are moving out. And I know that's politically charged. I'm sure there's two sides of the story. I don't want to get into that. I really don't. I don't have a need to be right. I don't have the answer. But I'm just saying I wish there was some collaboration happening that felt like we were heading in the right direction.
But I think at CAR, we definitely work to, do that. And I think PWR does that at the local level to work with city governments, county governments, state officials to try and move the needle, to try and help people
Can't we all just get along?
move right. I think we do for the most part.
Let's talk about this market. How are you feeling about Long Beach right now? Like heading into this market, we've had high interest rates.
Yeah.
You read the forecast events, at least for a minute there.
Yeah. I was in the whole time, except when you wanted a shameless button. I was gone.
Thanks a lot. I felt left high and dry.
But that was the day.
It's okay. I'm not taking that one personally.
No, I would have plugged you. Everybody, they're great.
Well, I know I can always rely upon you because, like we were talking about earlier, you're just good like that.
Yeah, because you guys are good too.
See what I mean?
See,
There you are.
Good. Whoever's looking, whatever camera. But no, I think it's gonna be. I think the year is gonna shape up to be much better. I mean, and I think you've said this, or someone said this at your forecast. Mortgage applications have tripled.
Yeah.
And I think that just shows that there are a lot more buyers out. I think the rates need to come down.
Yeah, activity is noticeably up. Now, we are traumatized because the last 3 years, every time we've gotten somewhat excited, the rug gets pulled and interest rates shoot right back up again.
Right.
So we're a little bit cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
But, new Fed chair in May, we're thinking that inflation's finally been conquered to a certain extent. Interest rates are in the cutting cycle rather than increasing cycle. So I think the lights
I think
at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yeah.
What's your advice to potential home buyers heading into spring? Because in my opinion, it's going to continue to get busier.
I think it will too.
And I feel like if they found a home now, if they wanted to get ahead of it rather than be in the midst of battles of bidding wars, I don't want you to agree with me, just agree with it. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Okay.
I think it's on both sides. I think with home sellers, right? I'm working with a couple right now, and they're, everyone's like, should we wait for the spring market? No. Why are you waiting? You go into the spring market, now you have 10 times more people trying to sell their house.
Oh,
now there's going to be more buyers.
Interesting.
Yeah. You could have had less homes on the market.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I guess anytime's the best time to sell. That's what people say. But I also think with buyers, get in now.
Yeah.
People always ask me, they're like, when's the best time? It's California.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe through the holidays and December's, maybe not the best, but for the most part, I've sold homes all year round, and I don't really think it's all depending on what you want to do. Because if you're a home buyer and you're going to buy in April, May, June, then you're probably going to be in multiple bid situations.
Yeah,
on what it is.
I agree. I mean, the thing that people forget, in my opinion, is if you're going to buy a home, most of the time you're buying to live in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that needs to supersede anything else. So timing is fine. The market aspect and the financial aspect is fine. But if you can afford it and it's your primary residence, stop overthinking it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
People overthink it all the time.
You're going to be there for, let's call it 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Average appreciation on Long Beach, going back 40 years, is 5% or something like that. Do the math.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be wealthier 10 years from now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's just and 30-year fixed balance is going to go this, and your tax deduction is going to be significant. Hello? And there's pride in ownership.
Yeah.
You want to live in a home. You want to be able to, paint whatever color you want.
Whatever you want your wall.
Hopefully not a hot pink.
Right. Or any of those weird.
Assuming it's not
any of those, right?
Yeah, but it's a big milestone in life. It's getting married, it's buying a house, it's starting a family, it's whatever, right?
I know, but I heard that buying a house or owning property is not as big a milestone as it was. That's what you hear a lot in the news lately, and that's very sad. I hope that's not the case.
I don't agree with that, and I wonder what is the root of that statement. Is it just more resigning to the fact that maybe it'll never happen? I don't know.
Maybe, but I also always think that
money.
Yeah. I always think that.
Well, that comes back to the affordability thing. Yeah.
Right. I am also a strong believer in no matter what you think the market is going to be, stop listening to the naysayers and just move forward. Do your best.
Yeah.
Put your head down. And believe it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Do you know?
And by the way, for the first-time buyers who have very little money, There's something called the Dream for All program coming out.
Yep.
State of California, if you put your registration in, we'll give you 20% down payment.
Yep.
Fully forgivable.
And I've used it. Not me personally. I've had clients who have used it. And
use education. Get the word out. You have money. Well, there's here. Join the registration for this lottery.
it's going up in a couple weeks.
Yeah. We're about to do a class on it next week in this studio, live webinar. So tune in. But and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just Dream for All. There's tons of down payment assistance programs, low income housing programs, all the rest. Like we just one of our agents in Long Beach took a listing in Yorba Linda, of all places, affordable housing. And we had to go through this whole rigmarole as the lender to figure out max price, max payment. But guess what? We got a buyer in escrow, and it changed her life. She's a divorcee.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a whole lot of money. Would never have been able to buy into that space otherwise. And because it's got the government parameters, she's getting in.
I think so many people aren't aware of this. I think so many buyers think they need 20%.
No, that's silly. Like the average first-time home buyer is, I think, less than 5% down on average.
Right. But I think people think that whenever I talk to people, they're always like, I mean, a lot of people have heard of FHA, but they don't exactly understand how everything works. Yeah. They're like, oh, do I need 20? No, you don't need 20%.
Yeah, FHA is 3.5% down. The whole 20% down thing was a thing, but like about 100 years ago.
I know. But people got that in their minds, and it's just not crap.
Well, it's also like, oh, I don't want to pay mortgage insurance. It's like, well, right. So let me get this straight. Okay. Right. You don't want to pay $3,000 a year for a house that's going to appreciate $50,000 a year.
Right.
Okay.
It doesn't make it
right. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's the education piece. Because if the problem is there's too much information now in social media, mainstream media has the agenda of salaciousness and fear. And everywhere you look, there's a different, very loud opinion. Yeah. And they're all different.
Yep.
What are you supposed to do?
I know. You got to kind of just like tune them out.
I don't know.
I know. I had a client who was funny. She did not want mortgage insurance, right? And I can't remember exactly what. I think she was 10% down or 15. Maybe it was 15. And the mortgage insurance.
Oh, the mortgage insurance. So 15% down is like less than $50 a month.
It was. It was like 38.
Right.
And she was like, "Oh, this is horrible." And I thought, "Why? It's 30. You've saved that 5% in cash that because she could have put it down." I'm like,
and for the record, do you remember what the approximate price range was?
It was a condo, so I won't say.
So we call it 700,000.
Yeah,
more or less. So 5%'s $35,000, right? And you're earning 5% on that, which is, let's call it $1,750 a year. Divide that by 12, right? And it's actually more than the cost of the mortgage insurance.
Exactly.
So and your home's going like this over time.
Exactly.
So like the education pieces, people, the stigma, this is bad.
Right.
Okay, so all logic goes out the window. Right. Now we're psychologically attached to the "this is bad" mantra.
Right.
And we're not thinking about any of the other moving parts. We're viewing life through a very narrow lens.
Yeah, I agree. People, for some reason, mortgage insurance has gotten a really bad name, unfortunately.
Yes. I'm going to say it. You ready?
What?
I love mortgage insurance.
Okay, that's just odd. I don't know how to take that. That's just odd. What is going on?
It has to be said.
I'm like, what is going on?
Oh, breaking the mold.
Oh my God.
Anyway, I have to say, and we'll wrap this up unless there's anything else you want to say. I knew inviting you here. I was very lazy with being intentional around inviting you here, but I knew if I asked you, you'd come.
Well, you kind of maybe did ask me a couple of times.
I did.
But
I wasn't super intentional.
Right.
I'm actually glad we waited because this is all a little bit better and more polished, and that's what you deserved. But what I was going to say is, you are the most fun human being to talk to on planet Earth. We could totally start our own little podcast. Have the PWR people come in here.
Right?
Yes.
You can have us like a late night show. We could all just sit on a couch.
We got three mics now.
Right? There you go. I think that'd be great.
What's your advice in closing to the scared and semi-broke first-time home buyer who wants to buy a house?
First of all, I would say try not to be scared. Number one, I would say find an agent you can trust. I think that's so important. I talked to so many people who hated their agent.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why did you stick with them? Find someone you like. Find someone that makes it enjoyable. It should not be scary.
Yeah.
I understand.
Or even if it is, have the person that can help push you through that fear.
And educate you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many people, like I have this buyer's booklet I take people through, right? I sit down with them. I spend like 45 minutes to an hour educating them. Not that they're going to remember any of it.
Yeah.
But it gives them a sense of, I care for you.
Yeah.
right?
Well,
You
that's
know?
just your approach to life, I've noticed. Like going back to, I know we have to close it out, but everything you were talking about with California Association of Realtors, PWR, WCR, you have a really cool legacy in your resume as a realtor, and I really admired it. Education first.
Education first. I agree.
And we love.
Mortgage insurance.
Let's go. Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.